First thing we're going to talk about today is about the IGN stuff. So IGN, when I say IGN, I'm talking about Destin, right? Destin works for IGN, and Destin put out this video that a lot of people are talking about. Okay, I don't know how the views are. It's got 19,000 views. I would have thought it would have more by now, to be honest with you. But he put out this video talking about Concord shut down by PlayStation and sends full refunds. Now, most people, when they see videos like this, they don't really expect much, right? If you watch somebody from IGN, the first thing in your mind is going to be like, oh, here we go again, you know? Well, apparently with Destin, that's not the case. Now, I don't consume Destin's content. I have no idea, how relevant he is in the terms of IGN and whatnot, or the gaming journalism space. But he was saying some things that are very interesting that a lot of people will say, and yet nobody wants to hear. Right? Stop attacking the fans. Stop, attacking the market that you're trying to get into. All this kind of stuff. Stop, not listening to feedback. It's very basic stuff. And again, I'm not trying to pat the guy, on the back. Trust me, I'm not. And I understand he works for the mainstream. But it's just interesting to see. It's interesting to see somebody who is mainstream, somebody who is at IGN, saying the same exact shit we've all been saying for the longest time. It's almost as if they know what's going on. It's almost as if they understand the actual real conversation that's happening, but they are purposefully refusing to acknowledge it. So let's get into this video. We're not going to do the whole reaction. I'm just going to do enough to get the point, and then we're going to move on. We got a lot of topics. Here we go.
It hasn't even been out a full 2 weeks yet, and Concord is already being delisted from all storefronts, and anybody who purchased the game is being offered full refunds.
Let's get an RIP in the chat.
I highly doubt that this game ever makes a return, because why would you when you only sold something like 25,000 copies? This is a colossal...
Bro, that number 25,000 copies, I do not believe it. I just do not believe it. It is fucking impossible. The numbers do not support it. The player numbers do not support it. There's no way 25,000 copies. Where's the other 23,000 people? Because between PlayStation and between Steam, you only had about 2,000 concurrent players. Where's the other 23,000? Where the fuck are they? It just doesn't make sense.
Blemish on Sony's record. Let's talk about what happened and what Sony has said about the situation right now. I think all of us saw the writing on the wall with Concord, knowing that player numbers were absolutely abysmal, but most were saying, hey, they'll probably give it a year and then shut it down. I don't expect this game to go anywhere. No.
That's what I said. I said a year or less. I didn't think 10 days, bro. No matter who you are, left, right, center, mainstream shill, mainstream non-shill, no matter who you are, nobody saw 10 days. I don't care who you are. Nobody out there saw this game dying in 10 fucking days. That's why it was such a big shock to everybody. Nobody. I know some people were saying like a month, but still, a month is not 10 days. 10 days is 1/3 of a month. Nobody thought 10 days, bro. Nobody. That shit was shocking.
Never in my career have I seen a studio pull their game off of storefronts and offer full refunds this close to launch. Here's what Sony said about it on the blog post. An important update on Concord. Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC, and want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. See, it's a little strange to hear that, because they didn't sell that many copies.
Exactly.
So
who are you talking
setting
to?
it up in that way, it's very strange to preface it as though Concord has been any sort of success. It's very clearly been a disaster for them.
It's PR speak, man. It's all PR speak. The entire thing is meant to showcase that they're not paying attention. Like, they're not trying to acknowledge what's actually happening. And this is a big issue with the gaming industry. How are you able to fail this hard? How are you able to pay someone 8 years to provide a product that essentially never gets released? That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, you hear about this shit on Kickstarter, right? You kind of understand that with Kickstarter. I've seen that happen with a lot of different Kickstarter. We're talking about a AAA development studio. 8 years. and their game came out for 10 days. That's insane.
Regardless, however, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way we had intended. I don't know what they think resonated with players, because if it did, you would have more players. I think this blog post is a continued fundamental misunderstanding that people didn't like this game from the get. The first time they saw gameplay, they said, this looks like a Guardians of the Galaxy knockoff. The trailer did not receive any positivity whatsoever. It was widely panned. And to hear them say that, like, this resonated with players. What players? Like, I don't know where they're hearing the positivity towards this. Now, I know this is marketing, but like, we got to take an honest, hard look at what went wrong with Concord, or they do at least.
Yeah, you're asking them to be honest. That's not happening. And the fact that this is coming from somebody who works at IGN is wild to me. But again, it just proves that every time they say, oh, it's just gamers being angry, chuds being angry, you know, the majority doesn't care about this stuff, let it be known that's not true. And then on top of that, too, if you had players, like he said, where are the players? Where did they go? And then the players that you did have, right? You started off with 697 players, right? 697 players is what you started off with. After a week, you were down to about 120 players. Where did the 500 some odd players go? You couldn't even keep around the people who actually did invest in your game. The ones who actually went out and bought the game, you couldn't even keep them. You guys were hemorrhaging. You were more than bleeding. You were hemorrhaging. And it also, you know, it makes me wonder, would Destin have put out a video like this, saying everything he's saying right now if Concord didn't get shut down? I don't know. Maybe. I don't watch his content to know, but it does beg the question.
And they say they're doing that. So hopefully they actually do once, because people, as soon as they got their hands on it, widely criticized the title. Anyway, they say that, therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline.
And actually, you guys are making a good point. IGN gave Concord a 7, bro. A fucking a 7. A 7 is where their review number starts. That's where, like, a 7 is where it starts for every game except games that have no diversity. Then they start at like a 1. But other than that, like, every game starts at a 7.
Beginning September 6, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. There are no players to reach. Even if this game goes free to play, it's not going to go anywhere. Rod Breslau posted the following list of changes that'll have absolutely no impact on Concord's success. Going free to play, increase marketing, improve gunplay, change character design, new art style, pay streamers, remove DEI, list of changes that would, canceling the game 5 years ago. Concord never should have seen the light of day. That studio never should have been purchased. I don't understand.
Oh, really quick. Can I just make a quick announcement? Let me make a quick announcement, guys. First off, like the stream. Number 2, I want to give a shout out to the guy. I think the company's called Playable Monsters, right? Playable Monsters is the company that used to own Concord. I want to give a really quick shout out to the CEO of that company, right? You are a fucking genius, my guy. I just want to throw that out there. You, whoever you are a genius, my guy. You convinced Sony to buy this game in 2023. You sold Concord off to Sony in 2023. You spent 7 years developing this piece of shit game, and you managed to convince a AAA studio, Sony, to buy this shit and let them take the fall for you. You spent 7 years and you let them take the... Oh, my God. You are a fucking genius, my guy. You are a genius. I seriously want to give a shout out to that guy, man. What a fucking genius. That's crazy. This game took 8 years to develop. Sony bought it on the 7th year. And the CEO was like, listen, guys, this shit ain't going well. This ain't going well. We need to sell quick. We got to get out of here. And Sony bought that shit and took the fall for them. Oh my God, what a genius move. That's going to be studied.